I've been traveling for most of the last 2 years with just this as my needles, hooks, and notions bag. And it has served me really, really well. And the other day I came across kind of like a nostalgia page where it showed those magazine spreads where people would show you what is in their bag. And it just gave me that kind of like, I want to go back into time where I looked at those things in magazines and I thought, well, I have a video platform, so why not do this with a video? So I haven't done anything to clean this up, so we're just gonna open up my needles and notions and see what's inside. So let's start with the bag itself. So I did not make these. I do not know how to sew, especially not this well. This bag is from 5 to 6 Organized Knits. Her name is Molly. And I had the inside of this sort of custom made for the tools that I have. But everything inside it, all of the like pouches that you're going to see are all from 5 to 6. So I'll make sure to put that down below. So this is a really cool bag. It has so many things. It has a really nice like hardy one of those really like hardy gold zippers. I have opened this up so many times. I have stuffed this inside my cabinet so much and it has held up so well. I am pretty careful not to like set it down anywhere will get really dirty. I'm also really careful not to like hold the bag like this because I have snapped a wooden DPN that way. So I try to always pick it up because it's heavy. I have a lot of stuff in here. There is a little pouch on the front, but I think I'll come back to that because that's where I keep some like my scale and stuff that I don't use as often. I think we should get inside the bag here. So I have three other organizers from 5 to 6. And I don't remember exactly the names of these bags. If I can find them on our website, I will put them as text. So I have this one, which holds all of my progress keepers. We'll come back to that. I have this one, which has a lot of stuff in it. We'll open that up. It has like all these little plastic things. I have basically the smaller version of that. So 2 that are kind of like trifolds. And then the inside here. Let's first scrounge into the bottom. I have a couple of like extra tape measures that I've received over the last few years. Nothing crazy, just like little tape measures, one from So Happy Jane, one from Socks for Sam. I think I got at least one of those at Rhinebeck. Oh gosh, a bee. Okay, we'll carry on. I also have one of these that I have not yet to use that I got in California at Monarch Knitting. It's a little tool to make a center pull ball. I had big dreams of using this to wind mini skeins like during Advent season. And then I ended up being at my parents' house then. So I just used my ball winder, but I have this in case I need it one day. And then I have a yarn cozy made by my friend Sarah that is not in use right now. So that's the only like loose things. Everything else very organized and put away. So check out the inside of this bag here. So on one side, I have all my needles. I have double points and needle tips on one side. And then on the other side, I have all of my hooks. I'll probably have to get a better close-up video of this here in a second, but I'm going to sit back for now so I can tell you more about it. So these little pouches, she has different ways that you can customize them. So when I had in mind, like when I was organizing all of my tools a couple of years ago before we started traveling, I really had narrowed everything down. So I had narrowed down my interchangeable needles. I switched over from my knit picks, which had served me so well for many years, but I really was kind of loving the ChiaoGoo cord, the stainless steel cord. Now lots of needles have them. I think knit picks might even make them as well. But at that time, they did not have them. And so I wanted wooden needles. So I have the Lantern Moon Ebony needle tips. And when I went to pick those out, they had lots of different ways you could, or lots of different like ranges you could get. And I just decided, you know what? I don't need a huge needle range. I'm not really using any needles bigger than a 7 most of the time. And one of the options they had was like a US 3 to a US 8. And for some reason, I remember they didn't have a US 4 or a US 5. One of those wasn't in that option. So I just bought that separately. So basically I got a range of sizes that I know that I use a lot. And then I've been supplementing and replacing. Like I have I break my size 3s all the time. So the last time I ordered them, I bought a bunch of them so that I don't run out or break them. Since then, I haven't broken any, which is really, really good. And then I also sometimes use double pointed needles. I'm not really a double pointed needle in the round girl, but I do like to use them for like applied eye cords or like random things here and there. So somebody very kindly gifted me a bunch of DPNs and I have those behind them. And then on the other side, it's just my crochet hooks. I really, really like the labels on here because at a glance, it's very easy for me to pull out the sizes that I need. Okay, so that's the big pouch. And that's what I got. I think I got this and this first. And then I was like, I need more and I want everything to match. So I didn't get these all at the same time, but I think I did get them all in the same year. So let's look inside here. So it has these nice little snaps and then it unrolls. And like I said, I didn't make any of these. I got them all from 5 to 6. I don't know how to do this, but there's a bunch of plastic sleeves inside. So I decided to make this one my like fixed needle space. A couple other things other than fixed needles are in here, but mostly fixed needles. And then all those little tools that come with your interchangeable set, that's what I have in here. So in the first one, since I buy so many Lantern Moon needle tips individually as I break them, I have all my little tools to like screw in the needle tips to the cord. So I have all of those in there. Oh my gosh. And I keep breaking this first one and like the little plastic piece keeps coming off. I think I need to use some tape or hot glue or something to close that. I'll get that later. And then in the second pouch, I don't have to pull all of these out. I have all the end stoppers that come with the Lantern Moon needles. So tools for interchangeables. And then I have all of my cords. Actually, I think these are just the 24s and the 32s because those are what I use the most. And then so that I don't get confused, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have the longest ones like way in the back because I also have 40s. I have seen people take like stickers and label these or just write directly onto them. And I haven't done that because I've had them in the same order for many, many years. And I just kind of remember the order that they're in because I don't have that many different things. Like if I had 16-inch cables and 20-inch cables and 24-inch cables, like I would definitely label them, but I don't have that many to remember. 24, 32, that's it. Now we're getting into my fixed needles. So my interchangeable set, let me see, goes down to a US 3, but obviously I need smaller than that sometimes. I make a lot of socks, I make a lot of hats and cozies and things. So I keep, and I like ChiaoGoo needles for that. So I keep all of my ChiaoGoo needles. I just coil them up like this and they go into this pouch. So the first one, very much like the cords, the first one I have is US 1s. And then I have US 2s, and then I have US 2.5. And for some reason, those are the sizes that I have. And what I try to do, although I can see now, like see how this one's like kind of all over the place, but then this one looks a little more organized. What I try to do is if I have two needles that are the same length, I try to coil them up together. So for example here, oh no, those aren't coiled up together. Are these all different? I don't even know if I have an example of this because I don't think I've done this correctly here. But yeah, these are all 2.5s. But what I try to do is if I have two 32-inch links, I like put them together and then I coil them up so that they stay neatly, so that the 32s stay separate from the 24s, stay separate from the 16. I do have some 16-inch needles here because I find I like that for hats and different things. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of all of my needles and accessories that are part of my interchangeable set. I have a few more things in here. I have a whole bunch of Try-It-On tubing. Anytime I get Try-It-On tubing, I just stuff it into here. I also have my cable needles. These are the Clover like plastic, I don't remember if they're called horseshoe. I think horseshoe might be more curved They're this kind, like this. And I believe that this is the first set of cable needles that I ever bought. I don't think I've had like other ones that I've tried, and I always just go back to these. I like the little bump in the center, and this is just what I like to use. I don't cable very often, but when I do, I have just the 3, and they're perfect, and I love them. And then what are we getting to here? Oh, interesting. Oh, wait, what is happening here? These I need to take out of here because I believe these are the cords to the ChiaoGoo Forte set, which I got the very first iteration of that, and they just never really felt right in my hands. So I didn't use them. And so I need to put that back with those because I'm not using it. So, hey, this is good. Now I get to clean up. And then second to last, I have, this is a tool that I love so much and use very, very often. I think it's also from Clover, and I'm going to blank on what they're called, but I will try to find them. They are just these small cords with like a needle tip on one side and a stopper on the other. And they are perfect for taking off your sleeve stitches and putting them on hold. I think they do make longer ones if you want to take off the body, but this one's pretty small, right? It's only going to be a sleeve, maybe a neck. So it's really handy because it's very easy to slip your stitches off. And then you have a nice pliable cord. And then you can just put like a needle stopper on this end because tucking it back, it has like a hole right there. Tucking it back into here is not very secure. So I really like these. I do use them a lot when I'm making a sweater that's top down where you put sleeve stitches on hold. It's just super, super handy. Much nicer than using yarn or something like that. And then in the very back, what are these? I don't know. I know they're my longer cords. And then I think I have needle sizes that I don't have any like others, like they're just the one. So I think I have one size 0. And then what is this? Oh, a 16-inch size 3. So those go in the back because they don't have any partners. Okay, so all of that fits so nicely into here, which fits ever so nicely into this. And when I put this into here, it's larger at the bottom, so it kind of like fills the whole bottom, but it's more triangular at the top, and that's what allows me to slip this second one in. So this one's much, much smaller. Actually, let me show you comparison again. Obviously, it depends on how much stuff you put in them, but here's them side by side. And then size-wise, this one's a little bit smaller, but they're essentially the same exact thing. I just keep different stuff in here. So I have a tiny, is it in here? Let's see. This is my really sad project bag right now. I don't know where it is. I have a tiny like fabric pouch where I keep a handful of things for on the go. I keep a small pair of scissors, a tape measure, like one of each different like darning needle type that I like to use, some stitch markers, some locking stitch markers. And that's what I like carry with me on a day-to-day. This is the gets put away, and I have extras in here. So this is my extras pouch. It has extras of all of those stitch markers, needles, and different things. So I don't find myself getting into this one quite as much. So I have all of my like stainless steel cocoa stitch markers in here. And then I have, this is all like the natural looking metals. This one's all the colorful ones, which I do enjoy using sometimes because sometimes I want to match it to a project or contrast it or use a color to indicate something. If I have to do repeats, I might use like silver for 10, silver for 20, silver for 40, and then like pink for 50, just to kind of mark things differently. I have one for my extra scissors. As you can see, all the other ones are being used right now. I have these really fun flat plastic 3D printed Mickey ones that my friend Rebecca made for me quite a while ago. And I use these sometimes when I'm blocking something mid-project and I don't have, everything else I have is metal. So it's really nice to have a plastic one that I know can go in the water and will be totally fine. I have the Coco Knits markers I use them for crochet. They're like so great for crochet. I love these things. I have all of my extra, what are these called? Tapestry needles are in there. I have a few like markers that I don't know, I've just gotten over the years and use on occasion. I think those are actually in stoppers. I should use those more often. I have another pair of scissors. I have a bunch of just blank, empty ones and even more scissors. I need to put the scissors together with the other scissors. I'm going to fix that right now because why are they in separate places? Then I don't know how many that I have. I'm kind of a maniac when it comes to sensory things. And so having metal markers in a metal tin or even plastic in a metal tin or plastic in a plastic tin is a sound that really grinds my gears and I can't stand it. It's so silly, but that is just who I am. So having everything in these little plastic pouches, like you can kind of hear it, but it's not that same sound. And when I pick this up and carry it around, it's not jingling and jangling and making me nuts. So a weird bonus if you have that sort of auditory thing like I do. So then I just slip this guy in right next to the other one. Sometimes I need to kind of like jig it down in there, especially when I've been opening it up as much as I can. But see, it all fits so nicely. And we just have one more bag to go. So I like this one a lot. This is a really versatile one. Again, if I can find the name of this style, I will put it on the screen. But it has a box bottom and then it's sort of like triangular to the top. So you could certainly use this for all kinds of different notions. It would fit a ton of different things. And it has the really nice metal like zipper that's really hardy. This, oh my gosh. These are all of my progress keepers. So progress keepers, I would consider, actually, I think there's stitch markers in here too. These are all like the special ones that aren't flat. They're all of the ones that have fun little, oh shoot, I just dropped one. They're all of the ones that have fun little things on them. Most of them are polymer clay. I really love polymer clay. There's some like 3D printed ones in here. There's some wooden ones in here. And I have them semi-sorted. So they look like a big mess in here, but they're actually, for the most part, all on different clips. So I have a really big safety pin here. And then for the rest, I guess I have a couple of like larger safety pins. And then for like the smaller clusters, I just use a light bulb stitch marker to hold them together. So see if you can guess the theme of my largest like group collection. It's food. I love food stitch markers. Definitely one of my favorite things. Some of the people that I have purchased from over the years, The Littlest Charm Co., Simply Serving, Sucre Sucre Miniatures. There's just so many. I kind of try to find them wherever I go. It's a really fun thing to collect. This is my holiday one. So I have mostly Halloween and Christmas, but I also have a, oh my gosh, why am I blanking? A king cake for Mardi Gras. I have some of the little babies for Mardi Gras as well. I have like a hot dog that I sometimes use in the summer. I don't know, just fun little stuff. I think I have like a travel one maybe and like a beachy themed one, but then there's also just some loose ones here in the bottom that are so, oh, this is the other maker that I love to get stuff from. I think it's Della Dino. And as you can see here, I actually bought a set of earrings and I just need to convert them into a stitch marker, but I don't have that with me right now. So I cannot do that, but that all fits in here. I'm definitely going to need to do probably a little purge at some point because this is getting awful full and sometimes you just have too many to really truly enjoy. So that's the last thing that goes in here. And I just turned it upside down so that it kind of wedges between those other two pouches. And then we're able to zip this thing closed. And that is everything in my bag. So I would love to know if you like store your items this way. Oh wait, I just remembered. We didn't look at the outside. Hold on, sorry. Let's look at the outside real quick. I keep a couple things in here. Actually, just 3 things. I have a wooden gauge, needle gauge, because sometimes I do need to use the needle gauge part. I have a Twice Sheared Sheep sock ruler from Sock Week 1 year. What year does that say? I think that's the first one. I think was it 2023? Yeah, 2023. So that's really fun. And then I have my scale, which I really like, that has like a little compartment on it, and I just set it down like that. So I keep all that on the outside. Okay. Now I think I'm officially done. I don't think there's any more hidden pockets on here. So I would love to know how you keep your needles and notions stored. I've done so many different things over the years, and I only converted to this pouch in the last couple of years. Actually, I think it was 3 years ago. And at this point, I can't remember if I did it because I knew we were going to start traveling or if I just wanted to have everything in a really small place. What I like so much about this is that if I do take a trip, and it's like a driving trip, this is not going to go on a plane. I mean, it's pretty big and heavy, but it's not too big and heavy for like a retreat that I would drive to or a weekend away where you're like, oh, we're leaving and like, I don't have anything packed. I want to make sure I have everything for my projects. If I need to like do the next part of my sweater and I need to switch needles and I need to have my try it on tubing, you just pick this up and you have everything you need. And we've been traveling in this van for the last 2 years, and there has not been a thing that I have needed. Like this has served me so well. It is certainly not the most minimalist set of needles and notions, but it is pretty compact and it does the job great. Well, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.